Hey, hi guys. I hope you people are doing well. I'm your I'm Dilip Kumar Patil, your social science teacher. Again, in today's class, we will discuss on the union government, which is your second chapter. Okay. So this union government, this stands for the central government, which operates from the New Delhi, which is the capital city of our country. Okay. So what initial before going to discuss this union government, we have to, as a student, we have to know there are two governments working on us. One is state government and another one is central government. A state government, in which state we live, like we are living in Karnataka. So in Karnataka we are having our state government. Okay, Yediyurappa is the CM, chief minister for our state. Likewise, in the central, okay, in the Delhi, there is one government which look after towards the whole our India. So that is what the union government is, that is the central government. So that is what we will try to learn. Okay, how this union government works, who are the main faces, are which are the main uh, blocks, are like the buildings, like this Prime Minister House, President House, and Parliament. These are the main offices which take case of the whole work and all those things. Okay. So here, after completion of this particular chapter 2, that is the union government, you people will going to learn about the Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, and their structure, and membership of Rajya Sabha, membership of Lok Sabha, qualifications to become a Rajya Sabha member, qualifications to become a Lok Sabha member, and functions of Rajya Sabha and functions of Lok Sabha. This is the one thing about a parliament building. Okay. So in this first image, this is the parliament building of our New Delhi. So in this particular parliament building, one can see the both this Rajya Sabha as well as the Lok Sabha. So that is the parliament part. Next, we will also come to know regarding the elections of the president, qualifications to become a president in India. Okay, so about the president, we will learn. Okay, how the president will be elected in our country and what a qualification needed to become a president of our respective country. After that, we will also going to learn about prime minister. Okay, so here I have added the images of present today's today's president and today's prime minister. Okay, so present president of our country is respected Ramnath Kovind ji, and prime minister is our beloved Sri Narendra Modi ji. Okay, so here we also learn about the prime minister and what are the functions he does. Okay, the functions of prime minister. Yeah. So all these things we will going to learn in this particular chapter once we complete this. In today's class, what we'll do, we will learn about this only parliament building. We will try to learn about Rajya Sabha, Lok Sabha, and its members, and the functions of these two houses. Okay. Okay. Introduction part. Here it tells that India is a sovereign, socialist, secular, and democratic republic country. Okay. England and France have the unitary system of government. India, like the United States of America, has the federal system of government. Here, he talks in United States of America, in USA, there is a federal system of government. Like the USA, we in our India, we also have the federal system of government. Okay. So what do you mean by federal government or federal system of government? Okay, here. What do you mean by that? Uh, Federal system of government means there is a union government at the center and state governments in the states. As I told you, okay, in the beginning of my class itself, okay, so we, the citizens of India, we are having two of the powers who are ruling us. One is the state governments, respective states in which we are living, and another one is central government, which is at country's capital city, that is the Delhi. Okay. So that is what federal system of government we are having in our particular respective country. But there are few countries in on this earth, like this England and France, they are having a unitary system of government where single government rules a whole country. Okay. But what we have to remember is, we, that is India, has a federal system of government. Okay, we are having federal system of government. So this federal system of government means there are two governments who are ruling us. That is the union government, that is the central government at the center, and the state governments in the respective states. That is what the federal system means. India is a union of states, as we are aware. Okay, India, this respective country, it is made up of the states. Okay. So as of now, okay, we are having 28 states and nine union territories to our respective country. Okay, so India, the nation, it is made up of the states and union territories. That is what this point tells. And if I move further, the powers of the nation are divided between the center and the state. Okay. Here again, what we have to remember is the powers of a nation. Okay. What the powers one nation should have. Okay. Those powers in our country divided between two, that is the central government and the state government. Central government, it has its own powers and responsibilities. State governments, every respective states I'm talking, okay, state governments, they are having their own respective uh, works to do. Okay, are they are having their own powers. However, the central government has been given more powers in view of unity and security of the nation. So, when you compare your state government power and central government power, central government has a more power, which is given in the Indian Constitution, because the central government has the power to securing our whole nation's unity and security matter. Okay. So whenever the matter related to the security and unity comes, the central government has to take the decisions. That's why central government has more powers when you compare with the state governments. That is this thing. Then it exercises these powers through the central government. We are talking about central government exercises its powers through the legislature, executive, and judiciary. These are the three main pillars of central government. Okay, which through which the powers they are using. Okay, legislature, executive, and judiciary body. We will discuss this legislature, executive, and judiciary in our upcoming slides. Okay. Okay. Union legislation. Okay, so this is the legislature part. India has adopted the parliamentary system of government, and the union legislature is called the parliament. Okay, so in India we are having parliament. Okay, parliament, it is made up of Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha members. Okay, where new rules, regulations, okay, related to the country are going to be framed and discussed. Yeah. Article 79 provides for the creation of parliament. Okay. Which of the constitution article provides the provision to create the parliament? Okay, so we have to remember this article 79 provides the creation of parliament. And the parliament consists of two houses. We have to remember, as I told in initial talks also, our parliament building, it consists two houses. One is upper house, another one is lower house. The upper house is called the Rajya Sabha and the lower house is called Lok Sabha. Okay, so this is the Lok Sabha, lower house, and this is the Rajya Sabha, which is the upper house. Okay. And the basic difference between this Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha members are, uh, in the numbers, Lok Sabha members are more, okay, approx, okay, double than Rajya Sabha members we will find in the Lok Sabha. Okay. In Rajya Sabha, we are having the less members when you compare with the Lok Sabha, and these Lok Sabha members are elected directly from the citizens of our country, and the members of Rajya Sabha, they are elected indirectly. Okay, they get elected from the these respective MLAs and MPs. Okay, so they elect these Rajya Sabha members. That's why, okay, once if you visit this Parliament building, okay, so the carpet of this Lok Sabha, you can see that is in green color. Okay. Green, it shows that the members from this Lok Sabha are from ground level, gross level. Okay, because we from the, okay, respective districts, we elect our Lok Sabha members. Okay, like this Rajya Sabha, here you can see the color of carpet is red. Okay. It means they are elected indirectly. Okay, they are not directly elected by the people. Okay. Indirectly, these Rajya Sabha members are elected to the Rajya Sabha. And Rajya Sabha, it is also called as elders house, citizen. Okay. 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 So we will talk about Rajya Sabha first, then we'll move to the Lok Sabha. As I told you, the Rajya Sabha seats we are having less when you compare with the Lok Sabha. The number of seats in the Rajya Sabha is 250. Okay. In total, in our India, we are having a Rajya Sabha numbers. Okay, is 250 members. Okay. The number of the seats in the Rajya Sabha is 250. Out of 250, 238 members are elected by the members of state assemblies and union territories. Okay. And the remaining 12 Rajya Sabha members are are the experts from various fields. Okay, so these experts are nominated by the president of our particular country. Okay, president elects 12 members to the Rajya Sabha. Okay, he but the persons, okay, who get selected in this 12 members, they should be based from literature, art. They should give their contribution to the, either to the literature, either to the art of this country. Either they should be a scientist, or they should give the a contribution to the science or social work. Okay, so these are few of the fields. Okay, so on this basis, okay, so they select the eminent personalities, okay, to the Rajya Sabha. Okay. President is having power to nominate 12 members to the Rajya Sabha. Yeah. And 238 members are elected by the members of state assemblies. Yeah. As I told you, these MLAs and MLCs, they elect the Rajya Sabha members. And one of the very important point what we have to remember is Rajya Sabha. It is also known as House of Elders. Okay, House of Elders. Okay, so probably what happens in this Rajya Sabha, you will find the members are having more experience. Okay, experienced persons you will find in the Rajya Sabha. Okay, that's why this particular Rajya Sabha is known as House of Elders. Okay. Then term of office. Okay, once one person selected as the Rajya Sabha member, what is his tenure and all those things. Okay, Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. Okay, what we have to remember is Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. Okay, why he is focusing on the permanent body? Because Lok Sabha is not a permanent body. Okay, so Rajya Sabha is a permanent body. Once a member selected as the Rajya Sabha member, he will be there for uh, 6 years. Okay, and is not dissolved like the Lok Sabha. As I told you, okay, Lok Sabha can be dissolved by the president and prime minister at any time. Okay, if they loses their faith from their elected members. But the term of members is 6 years. Okay, as I told you, Rajya Sabha members term is 6 years. Okay, once they select the Rajya Sabha members, they can work, they can give the service for 6 years, and one third of its members retire on completion of 6 year term every second year. Okay, every second year. Okay, one third of the new members join to this Rajya Sabha. Okay, one third of the Rajya Sabha members they retire, and one third same uh, quantity people joins to this Rajya Sabha. Okay. So every 2 years, this process continues. In this place, new members are elected, as I told you. Okay, one third members retires, and one third members uh, joins the Rajya Sabha every twice in a year. If the members every second year, sorry, it's not a twice. Every second year, one third of the members are joining this Rajya Sabha, and one third members are retiring. If the members, sorry, if the members do not wish to continue, they may resign. Again, they are having the power. If they don't want to, if they don't want to continue, then they can resign, and other members can be elected to his post. Okay, so this is the term of office. Then, sorry, uh, what we'll do in this particular slide, we will discuss the qualifications required to become a member of Rajya Sabha. Okay, so we will learn the qualifications which are required to become a Rajya Sabha member. Okay, so there are five qualifications he should have when he want to become a Rajya Sabha member. First and foremost thing is he should be a citizen of India. Okay. Only the citizens of India are allowed to become a member of Rajya Sabha. That's the one thing. Then second qualification is he should have a age not less than 30. Okay, it means more than 30, and more than 30 he should have the age. Okay, to become a member of Rajya Sabha. As I told you, Rajya Sabha is the house of elders. Okay, why they named it, you can come to know by this qualification. Okay, so at the joining itself, one should have the age of 30 or more than 30 to join the member of Rajya Sabha. Okay. So third qualification, sorry, third qualification is one should not have been punished under law. Okay. He should not have any cases on him or proved cases on him. Okay. It means the persons who are having a good clear criminal records, they can become a member of Rajya Sabha. Okay, if you are having any criminal background records, or if you are having any cases, okay, in that case you can't be able to become a Rajya Sabha member. Then fourth qualification is should not have been declared to be a person of unsound mind by a court of law. This is also a very important thing. To become a Rajya Sabha member, one should have a full fledged what we can say perfect sound mind and sound body one should have. Okay, if he is unsound mind, if he is having unsound mind, or we can say if he is a mad, okay, then he can't be able to become a Rajya Sabha member. Fifth one is one should possess the qualifications specified from time to time by the resident parliament building. Again, the fifth qualification is, okay, whatever the qualification they are asking for that particular year, the member should have that one. Okay. Then the vice president is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay. So this is also very important question. Okay. Vice president will be the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay. So present day we are having Venkaya Naidu ji as the vice president of our India, and he is the chairman of Rajya Sabha. The deputy chairman is chosen from among the members. Okay. So whatever the strength we are having 250, among them one will be chosen as the deputy chairman. Okay. Then at least 10% of the members, that is uh, 10% of the members, that is a minimum 25 members should be present during the sessions of the Rajya Sabha. Okay. Whenever the Rajya Sabha sessions moves, there should be at least 25% of the attendance of that Rajya Sabha members. And the house, the Rajya Sabha house, should meet at least twice in a year. Okay. Again, next Lok Sabha that we will discuss in our next class. Okay. See you in next class, guys.